Hello friends. So today we are going to see the topic averages. Okay. So before we proceed about the concept of averages, we need to first understand the basic concept. So the moment when we say average, for example, there are a group of elements that are given, and for some numbers are given to that case, and for those numbers if you are asked to calculate the average, the formula defines as sum of values by total number of values. That means you are given with a group of 10 items. Okay, and if you are asked to calculate what is the average, we need to add all the 10 items, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to and so on plus 10. You need to add all the 10 divided by total value will give you the meaning of average. Okay, so an average is defined as a sum of values divided by total number of values. And along with this concept, we also need to understand certain basic aspects. Okay, now see, for example, if there are some items, let us say n items, these n items, if you are asked to calculate average, it is resulted in some value, say x. Now for example, if there is one more person or a value added to this n, let us consider this n as a group of persons. If one more person is added, will the average be increased or decreased? Definitely the value will be increased. If you remove a particular person, definitely the average will be decreased. So this is the fundamental information we need to possess before we start solving the averages concept. So first of all, an average is defined as the total sum of values divided by total number of values. And to a particular group or to a particular elements, if you calculate average, and after calculating, if you are adding some other person, whether the weight of that person or the value of that person may be bigger or smaller than the existing values, definitely the average will increase. After calculating the average of a particular group of elements or a group of values, if you are deleting or excluding one element or a person or some value, be it less than or greater than the any values which are there in the group, definitely the average will be decreased. To a group of elements, after calculating the average, if new person or new component is added, irrespective of its weight, the average will increase. If to a group of elements whose average is already calculated, if you are excluding one or some elements, irrespective of the value, the average will decrease. This is the fundamental concept. Now, these are the formulae which we need to remember before we solve some questions. If you are asked to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers, the formula is n into n plus 1 whole by 2, where n represents the number of elements. For example, if you are asked to calculate the sum of first 5 natural numbers, 5 into 5 plus 1 by 2, because we need to calculate only up to 5 values. Forget about what are those values. If you are asked to calculate the sum of first 5 numbers, 5 into 5 plus 1 whole by 2, that means 5 into 6, 30 by 2, that means 15 is the answer. Similarly, if you are asked to calculate the average of n natural numbers, so here it is sum. If it is average, what you need to do? To this value, to this value, we are to this value, for example, to this value, we are dividing with n, so that this n and this n goes cancel, n plus 1 by 2 remains. So that is how the average came. Next, sum of squares of first n natural numbers, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole by 6. If you calculate the average, n goes out, n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Next, sum of cubes of n natural numbers, n square into n plus 1 whole square whole divided by 4. If you take the average, one n gets cancelled, so n plus 1 whole square by 4 will remain the same. The sum of first n odd numbers, directly you can say n square. If you are asked to calculate the sum of first three odd numbers, you can say 3 square, 9. Similarly, the average of first three odd numbers is again the same by n value. If you are asked to calculate sum of first n even numbers, n into n plus 1. If you are asked to calculate average, simply it is n plus 1. Now, before we proceed, let us understand few concepts which will make our calculation easy. For example, if we are asked to calculate the first n natural numbers, that means 1, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Then if I want you to calculate the average of these numbers, what we will do? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by total, that is 5. Sum of all the values divided by total values. So what is this? 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15 divided by 5. So finally 5 ones, 5 threes. So answer is 3. Now, instead of calculating, you can directly say, whenever if you are asked to calculate the average of consecutive numbers, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, always collect the middle value as the average. You need not to compute all these things. You can straight away say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are asked to calculate, say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then the average becomes 7. Directly we can say. This is case number 1. For example, case number 2. If you are asked to calculate the consecutive even numbers, even number means x, then x plus 2, then x plus 4, and so on. For example, if I take 2, what is the next value? 4. Next even number 6. Next even number 8. Next even number 10. If you are asked to calculate the average with a general concept, how we will do? 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 whole divided by 5. So 18 plus 6, 24, 28, 30. 30 by 5, it becomes again 6. So the middle value will be always the value. Next, similarly, if you are asked to calculate the consecutive or the average or a value of a consecutive odd numbers, if I say x, then it is x plus 1. If I sorry, x plus 2. Say if I say 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, so on and so forth. In this case, how do you calculate? For 1, 3, 5, 7, if such a case is there, then what we will do? 7 plus 5, 12 plus 3, 15 plus 1, that is 16 by 4. So what is the 16 by 4? It is 4. Whenever you have odd number of numbers, you can pick the middle value as the value. Whenever you have only the even numbers, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, two numbers got. What is the middle value exactly? So between 3 and 5, the middle value is 4. Similarly, even if the case of even numbers also, if you have 2, 4, 6, 8, if you are calculating the average, it becomes 5. Without doing a problem, you can directly say. Or if you want to calculate 8 plus 6, 14 plus 4, 18 plus 2, 20. 20 by 4, how much? 5. So similarly, whenever you are given with odd number of values, for example, like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is even number. The middle value is always considered as the average. If you are asked to calculate any sum or average of even number values, say for example 5, 6, 7, 8. Then what you will do? You will calculate between 6 and 7. What is the average? 6.5. That is your average. Or if you are asked to calculate 1, 3, 5, and then 7, what is the average between 3 and 5? So it is 4. So the middle value is always the case. This is the simplest mechanism to calculate the average of certain things. Okay. Now, let us slightly expand our concept now. Now, for example, here there is a point A. Here there is a point B. If a person started from point A to point B and he moved from A to B, then he returned from B to A. He traveled from A to B with a speed of X kilometer per hour, and he returned the same distance with the value Y kilometers per hour. That means from point A to point B, he traveled with some speed, let it be X, and he returned the same place, started from B and returned back to same place A with some other speed named Y. In this, the distance remained same because he traveled between same place only. So under such circumstances, if you are asked to calculate the average speed, the formula is 2xy by x plus y. If I ask you a problem like this, a person, a person named some Rahul traveled from A to B with a speed of 10 kilometers per hour and returned from B to A with a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. What is the average now? 2 into 10 into 15 divided by 10 plus 15. So 15 tens are 150, 150 into 2, 300. 300 divided by 25 will give you the answer. Okay. Then 25 ones, 25 12s is the answer. Similarly, if between these 2 points, if he traveled with a different speed of x, y, and z, 3 types of speeds are given. Then what you will do? Same concept. 3 into xyz divided by xy plus yz plus zx. This is the formula. Okay, this is zx. Okay, if the distance is the same, traveled with the different speeds, if there are only 2 different speeds, we will apply the formula 2xy by x plus y, where x and y represents 2 different speeds. If the distance is the same but traveled with 3 different speeds, say x, y, z, then we will apply the formula 3xyz divided by xy plus yz plus zx. Now there is a different case. For example, the person started from point A and he traveled to point B. From then he traveled to point C. Say for example, from A to B, he traveled with a speed of say some x kilometer per hour, x kilometer per hour. Then from B to C, he traveled with some y kilometer per hour. Okay. Then he traveled from C to A. Then he traveled from C to A with a speed of z kilometer per hour. Now, in this, the total distance covered by him is different. A to B, the different distance is different. B to C, the distance is different. C to A, again, the distance is different. In such cases, if the distances are represented by A, B, C, and the speed with which he traveled represented by X, Y, Z, then the formula for calculation of average speed, the formula for calculation of average speed says that A plus B plus C divided by A by X plus B by Y plus C by z. This is the average formula for distance difference concept. When the distance is same, we have used the first concept, that is this. When the distance between A and B is same, this is the case as distance is same. Okay. When the distance is the same, if you are moving from one direction to another direction with some speed and returning back with some other speed, you can say 2xy by x plus y. If there are three different speeds, then 3xyz divided by xy plus yz plus zx. If the distance traveled is not same, here in this case, distance is not same. So in this particular situation, then what you do is, if three different difference of the speed or the distances are represented by A, B, and C, and the relative speeds are x, y, z respectively, then if you are asked to calculate the average speed during the entire journey, you can say it as A plus B plus C divided by A by x plus B by y plus C by z. So this is the fundamental theoretical concept which we need to understand before solving the problems. Now let us move on to solve the first problem. Okay. Now the first question, what it's saying, if a boy travels a distance of 10 kilometers with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour and returned back with a speed of 7 kilometer per hour, find his average speed during the travel. Now, after observing this question carefully, he is saying the distance as constant. Okay. Now, in this particular problem, distance is same, right or wrong? He is saying that a boy traveled a distance of 10 kilometers with a speed of 5 kilometers and returned back. If there is a separate distance returned, it will be mentioned in the problem. But when not mentioned, consider it as distance is same. So he traveled same distance with a speed of 7 kilometers per hour. So now, if you quietly observe what is the formula, there is a distance constants, distance as constant, and there are two different speeds. So what is the formula for average speed? That is 2xy divided by x plus y. So 2 into what is x? 5, first distance speed. Then what is the second one? 7 divided by 5 plus 7. Now 2 into 5, 10, 10 into 7, 70 divided by 5 plus 7, it is 12. So 7 divided by 12, 12 5s are 60. So 50 means 12 fours are. So approximately 5.4 kilometer per hour is the average speed with which this person traveled throughout the journey. Okay. Now let us move to the second question. Now see here. So this particular problem is saying a different concept here again. What is that? A boy travels a distance of 10 kilometers. Here distance is 10 kilometers with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour and 21 kilometers with a speed of 7 kilometer per hour and another distance of 30 kilometer with a speed of 15 kilometer per hour. Do we need to apply the formula of 3xyz by xy plus yz plus zx, or a plus b plus c by a by x plus b by y? It is the formula as three different speeds and three different three different distances. So the average says a plus b plus c divided by a by x plus b by y plus c by z. For example, if the problem says the boy travels with a distance of 10 kilometers with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour and 7 kilometer per hour and 15 kilometer per hour, then we should have gone for the 3xyz by xy plus yz, the xy plus yz plus zx formula. But in this case, this is not applicable. So this we need to observe. In this, what are the values of A? 10 kilometers. The value of A is 10 kilometers. The value of B is 21 kilometers. The value of C is 30 kilometers. Then the value of X is 5 kilometer per hour. Then the value of Y is 7 kilometer per hour. Then the value of Z is 15 kilometer per hour. So now let us substitute the values. A plus B plus C, that means 10 plus 21 plus 30 divided by, what is the value of A? It is 10. What is the value of X? 5. Plus, what is the value of B? 21. What is the value of Y? 7. The value is again 30 divided by 15. Now, if you see the calculation, 5 ones, 5 twos, 7 ones are, 7 threes are, 15 ones are, 15 twos are. So if you see this, 30 plus 21, 51 plus 10, it is 61 divided by 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, that is 7. So here 7 eights are 56, 5, so 50.8.7. So here the average speed is 8.7 kilometer per hour. Okay. So in this case, as the distance is separate and he traveled with 3 different speeds for 3 different distances, we applied the formula for average as A plus B plus C divided by A by X plus B by Y plus C by Z. Okay, guys. Now let us move to the another problem. Now see here, the mean weight of class of 35 students. Okay, so 35 students are there in the class. Their average weight, okay, the average weight is not taken up. Say for example, let us say the average weight is, let us consider 45 kgs for example. The mean weight of 35 students is 45 kg. If the weight of a teacher is added, the mean weight increases by 500 grams. Remember guys, here in this particular model, we will get 2 types of questions, in which in first model, we will be given by what is the value that is increased, be it in grams, be it in kilograms. They will give you by how much the value is increased. Then in the second model, they will give you the exact value. That means the weight of a class of 35 students is 45. If the weight of teacher is added, the average increased to 47 kg. Like that, they'll give you. But in this, when the grams are given, there is a simple way to answer this question. This is first model. We will discuss the second model as well. So what they are saying is, there is a class of 35 students. For them, the average weight is 45 kg. So average weight of 35 students is 45. Okay. If weight of a teacher is added, the weight increased by 500 grams. So when teacher weight is added, so how much it increased? 0.5 kg is added. Now, instead of solving this in a regular model, we can straight away say that what is the average of the class first out of the 35 students that are given in the problem. First, the average is 45 plus what is the value increased? How much value increased? 500 grams. That means 0.5 kg into when the teacher is also added. Now, what is the total number of strength we have? 36. Because earlier 35 students are there. 35 students average is 45 that we have taken, plus what is the average? 36 students here, because 35 students plus one more teacher, so total 36 persons are there. And how much is the weight increased? 0.5 kg. So now if you do this, 45, 0.5 I can represent as 1 by 2 into 36. 36, that means 2 ones are 2 18s. So 45 plus 18, 55, 15 means 60, 63 kg. So we can say the weight of the teacher as 63 kg. So now what we have done, let us see one more time. Here they are saying that there are a group of 35 students. When their weight is calculated, the average weight is calculated, it appeared to be 45 kg. There is some teacher or there's some person. So that teacher weight is added now. So what will be the total value? 35 students plus one teacher. So total 36. Are they mentioning the weight increased or by how much weight is increased? By how much weight is increased they are giving. So 500 grams is increased, but they have not given the exact average. Now what we need to do is first take the average of 35 persons plus what is the difference of weight that we have obtained into the total number. If you represent, this is also average, this is also average. Here, sum of observations by total persons. We have multiplied. So here we are taking the total values. Why we are doing this particular step? Okay. Out of the 35 students and 36 students. So the difference, if we obtain the sum, we will be able to find out what is the exact value of the person who is added. So here the average remained same 45. 0.5 means half, and the new number of persons, the new number of persons are 36 now. Upon solving, we obtained the weight of a teacher as 63 kg. Okay. Now let us see one more problem here. The average age of 24 boys and a teacher. Now together 24 boys and one teacher as a unit. So this average is 15 years. When the teacher age is excluded, that means teacher is now being excluded. Average decreases by 1 year. What is the age of the teacher? Okay. So now what we need to do? First, average of the 24 boys plus one teacher. That means total plus what is the value which is decreased 1 year. Now out of this 25%, now a teacher is excluded. So what is the total number of persons? 24 only, because in our earlier case 24 plus 1, 25 people are there. Now one person is removed, so 24. So 15 plus 24, 39 years is the age of teacher, right? The average of 25 persons plus the average of 24 persons, and by how much the value is increased or decreased, that sum we have taken, and 39 years is the value that we obtained. Okay guys, now let us move on to next problem. So see here, the average age of 8 men is increased by 2 years. There are 8 men and their average age is increased by 2 years when two of them aged 21 and 23 years are replaced by two new men. Now what is the average? Okay, here what they are saying, there are some number of persons, be it 8 number of persons here. So with this 8 members, the average gets increased by 2 years when two persons whose age is 21 years and 23 years are replaced by other persons. So here we are not removing anyone, we are also similarly adding. So here the count remains same because two of them are being eliminated, two of them are again added. So the value never changes. I mean, the count never changes. Now, how do we solve this? First, what is the question being asked? What is the average of two men? Okay, what is the average of two new men who recently joined? Now, what we need to calculate? First, what are the two persons average? Their two persons sum we need to calculate first. Before calculating the average, first let us calculate what is the age of the two persons who are replaced. So their age is 21 plus 23, that is 44, plus, now what is the value, or the average increased by how much? The average is increased by 2, with the persons as 8 same. 8 persons are remaining constant. The summation of the persons who are eliminated plus after adding 2 new persons, the increased value multiplied by total number of persons. So here 44 plus 16, it will give you 60. Now this is not the answer. What they are asking, what is the average of two men? So 60 divided by 2 will become 30 kg. So 30 kg is the required average of the two persons. So let us repeat the problem. There are 8 men whose average weight is increased by 2 years upon replacing 2 persons whose ages are 21 and 23. Now we are asked to calculate what is the average of 2 new men who are replaced. Now for this, we have taken the sum of ages of 2 persons plus the difference in weight increase, or difference in the average increase or age increase, into the total number of persons. Here only 2 persons are replaced, that means nobody is eliminated. The elimination and addition both remained unchanged. So here persons total remained same, 2 into 8. So the sum plus total average, this is giving you 6. Now since it is the total value of two persons age, this is the total age of two persons, but we need to calculate the average. So divided by 2 will give you 30 kg as the required answer. Okay guys, now let us move on to another number. So see here, this is again a simplest question which we can answer. The average of 7 consecutive numbers is 37. Find the largest one. Okay. Now we have seen in our case, for example, when I say, I think I have explained you at the beginning of this concept, some consecutive numbers. Let us say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then say this. Okay. Like this, we have 7 consecutive numbers. What is the average? It becomes 5. So that means by using this concept, we have 7 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In which, how to calculate the average? Instead of calculating total sum divided by total number of values, we said identify the middle term. This will be the average. That is the concept we understood from the previous discussion of calculating the consecutive numbers. So that means here the middle value says 37. What about these previous values? They are consecutive numbers. So that means 1 less than 36, 35, 34. What are these values? 38, 39, 40. So what is the answer? Find the largest one. The answer is 40. I repeat the problem once again. Listen carefully. The problem says the average of 7 consecutive numbers. Forget about whether they are odd or even. Forget about it. They are consecutive numbers. So these 7 consecutive numbers average is 37. Find the largest number. From our previous discussion, we know that whenever there are some consecutive numbers are there, identify the middle term as the average. That is what we understood. Let me move to the concept once. See here. In this, we have identified. If there are 5 numbers, instead of calculating this, we took middle value. Again, in our cases, these are the 3 cases where we discussed about how to calculate the values. Okay. Similarly, by using this particular logic, we are going to solve this question. These are consecutive numbers, 7 consecutive numbers. I have identified 7 places. The average is 37. That is what they are saying. Find the largest number. So when 7 positions are there, what is the middle position? That means fourth position will be the middle position. So I have written the value 37 here. So since they are consecutive numbers, before them 3 places, after them 3 places, I have written. So smallest number is 34, largest number is 40. Now, observe the similar kind of problem here. It says the average of 6 consecutive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever there is an even number of places are there, what I told you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. How do I calculate it? Between 3 to 4, there is an average called 3.5. So that we have considered as average. Similarly, there is a value in between which says 36.5. That means this value is 36. This value is 37. This value is 38. This value is 39. This is 35. This is 34. So what is the question? Find the smallest one. Answer is 34. If you want to cross check, add 34 plus 35 plus 36 plus 37 plus 38 plus 39 divided by 6. If you calculate the value 34 plus 35 plus 36 plus 37 plus 38 plus 39. So this total value comes to be around 219 divided by 6. 6 threes are 18, 39, 6 6 are 0.5. So 36.5. That is what the question being asked, no? So there are the average of 6 consecutive numbers means 6 blank places I have written. Then they are saying the average as 36.5. From our previous discussion, whenever there are even number of digits are there, the middle value is considered as the average for that particular series. Since between 3 and 4, the average is 3.5. In our problem, 36.5 is written. So 36.5 before there is a 36 and after there is 37. So that is in between 36 and 37 only 36.5 comes, right? So we have notified these numbers, and from our discussion, we identified that 34 as the smallest one. Okay, guys? So in the next session, we will discuss some more complex problems basing on the batting and bowling averages kind of problems. Okay. So now just go through this concept once, and in the next session, we will see another set of problems. Take care, guys. Thank you.